It's 28th September 2025, and it's your boy Matthew East here, and this is a personal update. I'm dressed in my sexy hot youth pastor outfit at the Mary Catholic here. I used to work here. I had a boss here called Peter Henry. We're kind of mates. We're kind of also a bit sour. I found this amazing bumper sticker. I wish I could purchase it. I'm worth exactly 19 cents at the moment, so I can't do it, but it says, "I love my sexy hot youth pastor." So when I have money, I'm going to give $50 to whoever can stick that onto the back of his car. But until then, I want to give us a little bit of personal updates. I'm giving this as a personal update rather than Taco admin because, look, I've got just a couple of things, and it's just a little bit more off the cuff, a little bit more casual today. Maybe a little bit more serious though is there has been some editing of my videos by the state. I don't like that. So the first instance of that, which is really bothers me, was when I had a video which was meant to be which I made on how police uniforms, they're basically gang uniforms, right? Because the amount of bullshit I have to deal with and persecution from the police, well, it's almost as if they're a criminal organization and they have a gang mentality. A lot of them are fascists. Like, if you're a member of that organization, the same way you're a member of Rogue BJJ or any of these other groups, really, if you walked into a courtroom wearing the gang uniform, so you have the gang patch, right, like a bikie jacket, and that's what the metaphor I was using, and you walked into a courtroom with that, the judge would look at you and be like, "Hey mate, you're taking the piss." Now, that's the wording which I was going for in that, and I think I actually used that wording, but in the video where I'm discussing it, what ends up happening instead is that it looks as if I've got my hoodie on and I've got this patch for my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym, which was a different one. It's a gym called Legion 13. It has no connection to any criminal organization. It's actually a very good group of blokes, and I don't have a lot of clothes at the moment. It's a very nice hoodie. It's very warm, so I just happened to be wearing that when I made that video. I don't have nice clothes at the moment. So that's the story with that, and I worried that it was edited, because what ends up happening is that I'm constantly being undermined and the message I put out gets changed. Sometimes if you're in my situation, it's a bit weird, because when you're being harassed by these spooks who do just retarded shit all the time, you're always on the lookout. Sometimes you see things which are not there. Sometimes you see things which are definitely there. And the difference between the two does play tricks on you, and it's not fun to be in. But regardless to say, I think that video was doctored, and I'm telling you what the original message was. It's very frustrating because sometimes I say some very powerful and have some really good takes. So I say it just exactly how I want it to, and then the message gets fundamentally altered by changing a couple of words. Another example of that is a video I'm currently editing, where I describe just the horrendous abuses I've had over the years, and I've tried to put into a long form, and it got sabotaged as I was editing it intentionally. And with that, I need to say that that I am chopping out some wording which I don't think I said, where I say that Jocko and Jordan Peterson are good role models. And that's not because they're not good role models, it's just that that's not the content of what that video is meant to be portraying. So when I released that video today, that's why that's cut out, and that's why I'm not saying that. It's not meant to be an attack on them. I have been frustrated with Jordan because I'm fucking broke, and I made that guy billions, and I'm waiting for my money, right? I want my bloody money. What other examples? Oh yeah, I made the example regarding veterans and how a lot of them pussyfoot around and how they play up their trauma and make it as if their work is so special, and their sacrifice is so much more than all the other fucking hells that other people in society go through. Yeah, veterans, I've seen it where you'll have people who just went to war and then they had a couple of friends that they know of, or people that they know of a bit away from them died, and now they've got this big victim narrative because there's the Anzac legend, military people. There's this sort of admiration for all of it. And look, we need people to do the work. The culture itself, if I'm honest, is probably more traumatizing than most of the actual combat that most people experience. The way military people treat each other on the day-to-day is more responsible for mental health issues than the actual fucking work. Sorry. And part of that culture is this sort of pseudo-religious worship of dying and having the people around you die, and feeling, and like the whole tragedy of it becomes kind of this story people live in, and it makes them feel special, and it's like, just shut the fuck up. Like, if you want to get over your trauma, you use the behavioral science methods to do it. And I've had this issue where I've had veterans like look at my situation, playing up their fucking service as if that's the only thing which traumatizes people. Like, man, I have been through the shit. I've done more and been more useful to society than most of the people who went to Iraq and Afghanistan. I actually produced lasting results. It's tragic what happened over there, but it didn't work out, did it? And on top of that, it is fucking tragic when the trauma that those people go through, and I think it is actually worse because it didn't work out. But when they come to me and tell me, hey Matt, you just need to, discipline equals freedom, like it wasn't as bad for you as it was for us, it's like, fuck you privileged bitch. Like, you had all this shit, you had a solid job, you had consistent payment for years, you had a career provided to you by the military, you had your healthcare paid for you, you had all this privilege. Like, honestly, military people are often the most clueless, privileged shits that you can imagine. And on top of that, they got this social narrative which they wrap a blankie around themselves with. And it's like, look, a lot of toxicity comes from the military. I've definitely been around it, but most of it is the culture itself. It's not the work. The work is the least traumatizing part of the military. It's the culture and the way people in the military treat each other. That's where most of the mental illness comes from. They're shit to each other, mate. And they play up bastardization as if it's like some good and heroic thing, and how tough they are on each other. It's like, a lot of it isn't even productive. A lot of it doesn't even develop useful people, but it's just sort of come into the religion and culture of military. I wanted to say that as well while I'm giving a total roast of it. Let's see, what else did I want to say today? I want to get back to doing psychology work again, but it has to be in like sort of a more insular community. So having a school psychologist role isn't a bad idea because it's just within that school. And whilst I'm not a massive fan of private schools, I'd actually really like to work for the Canberra Grammar one because it is an insular community. It means I don't want just random people coming into my therapeutic practice who might have an ulterior agenda, at least if they're going to a posh private school of some kind. And like, remember, like, if you've heard about me, I'm not a posh person at all, but at least if I'm there, like, I'm not going to have people coming into my sessions who are there to sit down so that they can do a targeted hit piece on me, or coming in to troll me. And even if they're trolling me, they're kids, and there's the disciplinary apparatus of the high school which would be able to help me out. So that's why I'm particularly interested in going to the grammar school. Problem is that between now and then, like, I don't have any referees because I've been a whistleblower and I've pissed everyone off in my industry, right? And they've actively tried to. And if I ask for a friend to be a referee, because the process of me asking them to do that gets them identified, right? Because I have to SMS them, and then my screen's constantly watched. So then the bastards at Humanity Health Group, whatever organization I have blown the whistle on, they're going to, they now know who's going against their will. So it's a very difficult situation. This is what it's like to be oppressed, man. It's not fun. So I got that. I'm also going to upload some videos from my cousins, Alice and Rowan. Alice is my cousin-in-law, I guess. Rowan's my cousin on my mother's side. They have this amazing duet. They have worked incredibly hard. They are touring artists. They're hopefully at the point of their career where they're about to go international. And I'm uploading some of their stuff to my channel. The performance they did here at Smith's Alternative last night, which I got to be a small part of in helping them prep for it, and got to get a free show. It was a wonderful experience. Highly rate them. They've just released a new album. I'll put a link to it in the comments. I usually forget to do that. Anytime I say I'm going to put a link, but I'm gonna fucking do it for them. All right, I'm overcoming this ADHD and limited internet access, and that's going to happen. And yeah, I also need to really highlight that it's incredibly important that Jordan Peterson finds a way to get me my cut, because he is my business partner. We've been through this together, and look, even if he flew out to Australia and literally walked up to the Ainsley Village, like, that might be what he needs to do, because I don't know what he's going to need to do to get past all this nonsense with police harassment and stuff. I have no idea what's going on. I would actually appreciate it if someone just came up and explained what's going on. This has been a hellish experience. Okay, have a lovely day, everyone.